Hey, what's up, guys? Now that I finally did my last haul video and got my Flash 106 out of the way and showed it finally, I can finally get to my top 25 buys of 2015 video. That if you guys follow me and watch my videos, you know I do that every year. A little later than I'd like to put it out, but it's only the beginning of February, so it's not that bad. But I just couldn't do that video without showing that book. Um, and it just took me a little longer than expected to build up a haul. But and I wanted to show that book in a haul video before I showed it in that. So, but now that I finally showed it, now I can get to this video. So, real quick though, before I even get into my top 25, I even got a couple honorable mentions. I actually had a really good year, surprisingly, of picking up comics. I slowed down a lot last year, starting last year. Just books were starting to get a little pricey, and I was going after more expensive books compared to, 2, 3 years ago. No, dude, I was literally pumping out videos like every week or every 2 weeks. When it got to the point where I was only doing a video like once a month. But yeah, I got a lot of great books. Really happy about all these books I picked up. I like I said before, I like doing these videos just to kind of reflect on the past year and what you picked up. And surprisingly, man, I picked up some really good books. So before I get into that, though, like I mentioned in my last video, I'm starting to pick up figures as well. These are just some of my newest pickups. As you guys can see, I got Black Adam, Black Mana, Hawkman, which, oh my god, that figure is so awesome. And John Stewart. Also picked these up as well from the DC Universe Classics line. Got me Reverse Flash. Really happy to get that guy. And I got Jim. If you guys watched my last video, I actually showed his first appearance. Picked him up just because I really like his look and design. Kind of like some of these obscure DC characters. I thought his figure was really cool looking, so I picked him up as well. I got some more coming in the mail. I've been really trying to hunt down Aquaman and Flash from this line of figures, the New 52 stuff. And oh my god, I just can't find them anywhere. So I ended up having to order them online. But yeah, they're being shipped. They should be here like any day now. But yeah, these are some of the newest figures I picked up. Yeah, I'm loving these DC Direct New 52 figures. They're just so awesome. I'm gonna eventually collect this whole line and then move on to another line after that. But yeah, awesome stuff. So we'll go into when I was trying to like go through my books and pick out my best buys. There are just so many good books that there's some I have to leave off the list, but I'm gonna show them just because they're still really great books. So I have a couple honorable mentions. First one, don't buy too many slab books, but I did pick up Showcase number 60, 6.0, the first Silver Age appearance of Spectre. Didn't quite make the list, but still a great purchase nonetheless. So it made my honorable mentions. And then, really love this book, Superman number 204. This is the Jim Lee sketch variant, the RRP variant. Another awesome book. Still didn't make the list, but I just love this cover. So iconic. One of my favorite covers from Jim Lee. So that's why I made the honorable mentions. Absolutely love that cover. A book I just showed in my last haul video, Superman Man of Steel, the 5th print DC Universe variant. Really great book to have. Just didn't crack the list. But like I said before, this is the definitive. This is the Man of Steel 18, first appearance of Doomsday that you guys want in your collection. This is the rarest one to pick up, and it's worth the most. And I have a first print newsstand, but this is the one. This is the one to have right here. Really happy to pick that up. I did pick that up like right before the Batman vs Superman trailer 2 dropped, which is weird coincidence, but I did. Also, another great book, just didn't quite crack the list, was Journey into Mystery 102. First appearance of Lady Sif and Hela. Also, I believe Balder's first appearances in this as well. Great book, just quite didn't make the list, but awesome book. Definitely an honorable mention. And the last book for my honorable mentions is House of Secrets number 61. An awesome book right here. First appearance of Calypso. Um, it was really tough to leave this one out of the list, but I don't know. Maybe I could have made room for it and took something else out, but I don't know. I'm going to stick with it. So this is definitely an honorable mention, but a great book right here. Really hard book to find. First appearance of Calypso. Really glad that book's in my collection. So with that out of the way, those were the honorable mentions. Actually go into the top 25 now. We'll start off with a couple modern books. Probably, in my opinion, my top variants that I picked up, hands down, last year. First one, Spider-Man #1, the Platinum Edition. Yeah, this is a book that I've always wanted since I first got into collecting. It was one of those things, man. I remember as a kid, you heard about this book existing, but I've never seen it until recently, like a couple years ago. I finally actually seen a Spider-Man 1 Platinum. Always wanted to get this book. Really happy I was able to add this into my collection. And also, probably one of my favorite variants of all time has to be Green Lantern #9, the Green Lantern Batman variant from Ethan Van Sciver. Awesome, awesome book. Definitely one of my top buys of the year. Like I said, easily one of my favorite variants that I picked up. Just a gorgeous cover. And then we'll get into a couple slab books. Like I said, I don't pick up too many slabs, but I have a few. First one, had to knock this out for my Flash collection. Flash 112, first appearance of Ralph Dibny, aka the Elongated Man. This is a PGX 4.5, which honestly I know people give PGX a lot of shit, but really looking at this book, I can safely say it is about a 4.5. People usually go, oh, well, if it's a 4.5, then it's really a 3.5 for CGC. No, it looks about a 4.5. I think they accurately graded this one, but yeah. Got this for a really good price. Had to get this book. Like I said, I needed it for my Flash collection. First appearance of Elongated Man. And also a book that has been on my list for like a long ass time. Really pricey book. Brave and the Bold 34. Origin and first appearance of the Silver Age Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Man, I was so glad to finally check this book off the list. I did want it to go. I wanted at least a 4.0, 4.5, but oh man, the prices on those are just ridiculous. But I found a decent 3.0 for a really good price, so I had to pick it up. Even though there's some pieces missing right here in a corner, other than that, it's very presentable, nice copy. But because it's a 3.0, I got a really great price for it. So I'm definitely happy with this buy. And it's kind of ironic I got Hawkman right there to go with it. And then another book that I had to add to my Flash collection is Flash 113, first appearance of Trickster. Great book. Mark Hamill's killing that character on the Flash show. And then Strange Adventures number 180, first appearance of Animal Man. What's funny about this actual copy I have, this is actually Mercenaut's original copy that he got, which I didn't even know until he pointed it out in my video. And it does actually happen to have the same exact date stamp that his copy had. So I guess I have Mercenaut's first appearance of Animal Man. But yeah, definitely one of my best buys. Awesome character. A book that I needed in my collection for a long time. Really glad to finally knock that one off the list. Another one, Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Got this off of Instagram. Got a really great price on this. First appearance of Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. Also Professor Miles Warren as well, who eventually becomes Jackal. But definitely a book that I was really looking to add in my Spider-Man collection. Because you guys know I'm a big DC fan. I love Marvel too, don't get me wrong. I started off as a Marvel guy. But I've always said that Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character, and I love collecting Spider-Man keys. Just some of his early stuff is just really expensive, but Really glad to finally get this one in my collection. Love the early Ditko stuff. So yeah, first Gwen Stacy. Love that book. Got a great price on that. Another one that I'm so happy to actually add to my collection is My Greatest Adventures number 80. First appearance of Doom Patrol. Great team. I think so underrated. And this book right here, just so hard to find. Got a really good price on this one as well. Could not pass it up. Definitely one of my top buys of 2015, hands down. And this one right here is actually when me and Rich went to the CalCon out in Yorba Linda last year. Basically stealth bought this book. This book right here, Showcase number 37, first appearance of Metal Man. They had it listed as like a 3.0. I kind of almost blew the deal. Watch my video and I'll explain why. But I almost blew the deal because they graded it wrong and they priced it wrong. But yeah, this book is not a 3.0 at all. This is like a 6.5, at least 6.5. Beautiful, beautiful copy. You got an absolute steal on this. Easily one of my top buys. Such a great book. Another great team right there, Metal Man. Very underrated. And then, of course, I had to include Strange Adventures number 187. As soon as the Suicide Squad news broke and Enchantress was going to be in that movie, this book went through the roof, man. And I was like trying to find this book everywhere, and I ended up by finding it at a comic shop in my area that usually I don't normally go to, but excuse me, guys. But I found it for $30, and this copy is super clean, man. I'd say definitely like a fine minus copy. But yeah, $30. Got this at the beginning of the year. This is like actually in my first haul video is when I showed this book. My first haul video of 2015 to be exact. But yeah, $30. Really happy to have this book. Still a hot book, but man, when Suicide Squad first got announced and she was in it, man, that book went bonkers, man. Another awesome Spider-Man key that I'm so happy to have, man. Amazing Spider-Man number 20, first appearance of Scorpion. Just an awesome book, awesome cover. Always was a fan of Scorpion. Really happy to have this. Man, any early Spider-Man book, I'm just happy to have. And then one of the big Bronze Age books that, just for some reason, I didn't have it. I was missing this. But I got this from my boy TiVo, Lords of the Long Box. Tim gave me a killer price on this. It's about a fine copy, but with the press, I'd say it can go about to a BF minus. But gave me a killer price on this book. I couldn't pass it up. So thanks Tim for hooking me up with this book, bro. Conan number 1. Awesome book. Really glad to finally have that in the collection. And around the same time, I actually got that first Enchantress. I picked this up. This was also in my first haul of 2015. Strange Adventures 111. I definitely got to say, when I picked this book up, I was definitely getting ahead of the curve, as you can say. Because I was like, dude, they have to have Baron Mordo. He has to be in that movie, dude. Hands down, has to be in Doctor Strange. Because that's his main villain besides Dormammu. So I was like, I have to pick up Strange Tales number 111, which has his first appearance. And then not only that, you get second appearance of Doctor Strange on top of that. It was like definitely a no-brainer pickup. Got this book for a killer price. I mean, that's only about, I'd say about a good plus. Maybe a little better. It could definitely use a press for sure. But man, I got such a great price on it. And now this book is just really expensive now. I believe Baron Mordo is going to be in the movie, so really glad I got that book. And one of my favorite Marvel villains, I always loved the Mandarin, man. Tales of Suspense number 50, first appearance of Mandarin. And you guys heard me rant before. Iron Man 3, man, it was such a good movie until that reveal of Mandarin. I don't know, it just pissed me off because I'm a huge fan of the Mandarin, and that whole twist is, it just bugged the shit out of me. But yeah, I mean, it's still a good movie, but Anyways, yeah, like I said, I love the Mandarin. Really happy I was able to get this book. Got a really great price on this one. Really nice, I'd say mid grade, probably like 6.0, fine minus. It does have some writing right there, but whatever. Other than that, the book is very clean. And then probably one of my favorite Spider-Man villains of all time. Venom is my number one for sure, but my second favorite Spider-Man villain is Kraven the Hunter. And so happy that I was able to get this book, Amazing Spider-Man number 15, the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter. Another book I just got a killer deal on. Another early Spider-Man. Oh, I would love to get a 14 eventually. That's definitely a book on my list for this year to pick up. If I keep waiting on that book, I think I'm gonna miss the boat on it, man. Because it's one of those books that just it keeps slowly going up as well. But anyways, aside from Green Goblin, though, I mean, I love this book. Really happy to add this to the collection. Like I say, Kraven is easily one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. Really nice copy. Aside from the subscription crease, it's a really nice copy, though. Another book that, man, 2 years ago you could have got this for really cheap, but lately this book has just caught on fire, man. Glad to finally have one, too. Brave and the Bold 54. One of my favorite teams in DC. First appearance of Teen Titans. Awesome book. I remember at the time when Rich got his, it was a lot cheaper. And it was one of those books that was like, well, I'll get around to it. I was like focusing on other books. And of course, I held it off too long and this book started climbing real quick, man. Like towards the middle of last year, especially when they started announcing that there was going to be a whole DC cinematic universe, man. And man, just all the DC Silver Age key issues just exploded, man. They just all started going up, and this was one of them that rose up real quick. Because, I used to actually think this book was actually undervalued, to be honest. But I mean, it's pricey now, but I'm glad I got one. Really nice copy. Got it for a good price. It could use a press, but if I ever submit this book, I'll get it pressed out and submit it. I'd say probably get about a VG plus with a press. A book that I picked up not too long ago from my boy Dan off of YouTube, who is if you guys follow Kingpin, that's Dan. Got this from my boy Kingpin. Silver Surfer number 4. Just everybody knows classic cover. Silver Surfer and Thor. Basically a must-have book. Just absolute gorgeous cover. Really glad that I was able to add this bad boy to my collection. And I also picked up Avengers number 57, first appearance of one of my favorite Avengers, Vision. Beautiful cover. Another book that, man, right before Age of Ultron, this book just shot through the roof. Another book that I held off too long and waited too long to pick up, but I got this for a decent price. It's really, really nice grade, except for it's got a couple of little color breaks up in here. This is actually a crease, but what's funny is these right here, these aren't creases. They're just like color breaks, but like that's an actual crease right there. But man, still a gorgeous ass copy. I got it for a great price, man. Really happy to have this first Vision. And another book, man. At the beginning of the year, I was actually going after this book pretty tough. I wanted it really bad. I was so stoked when I finally nabbed a copy. Showcase number 34, first appearance of Ray Palmer, the Silver Age Atom. Just a iconic cover, great character. Book that's actually getting really pricey lately. I actually really like Brandon Routh's portrayal of Ray Palmer on the CW, Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow and stuff. But yeah, definitely another book that I'm just absolutely love having in my collection. Very happy to have that. And then, oh man, that's a lot of books, guys. Sorry, but Hawkman number 4, another book that man, I was trying to hunt this book down for so long, so hard to find in the wild, man. But finally was able to score a nice, I'd say about a 5.0, yeah, at least a 5.0 copy. First appearance of Zatanna, awesome book. If that Justice League Dark does happen, she's definitely going to be in there, and this book is just going to keep going up. I'm really glad to have that book. Oh, excuse me, to have that book in my collection. And it's a lot of DC books. Next book, an awesome Silver Age Superman book right here. Superman key issue, Superboy 68, first appearance of Bizarro, one of Superman's major supervillains. Really excited that I was actually able to get this book as well. For a long time, man, I really wanted this book, and I found it for a killer price on eBay. I remember correctly. I think I paid like 120 for it. But I mean, that's a steal. This book is probably like a BG minus, but man, for 120, I could not pass that book up. First Bizarro, awesome key. And I think we're narrowing down to the last four books. Another book that I picked up at Your Belinda, the CalCon, last year with Rich when me and him went. A must have key. It's one of these books that I always wanted when I was a kid, and so glad to finally have it in my collection. I would like to eventually upgrade it later. I'm happy with this copy, but I would like a better grade. But this is good for now. Fantastic Four 48, first appearance of Silver Surfer, first cameo of Galactus. Yeah, like I said, just a must-have. And I really wanted to get this book, especially after I got Silver Surfer 1 out of that Craigslist find that me and him did earlier before I went and got this book. That was just kind of like more of an incentive to pick it up that made me really want to get it then. But yeah, super happy to have this book. Definitely looking forward to this year to complete this trilogy. I do need to get 49 and 50 as well. But yeah, really happy to have 48. Like I said, eventually I do want to upgrade it, but it is a nice solid copy. It's just, I think what it is that writing right here, Raymond. Somebody wrote their name right on the F. It's like a little pet peeve I have. It just kind of bugs me, but I mean, other than that, it's a solid copy. But yeah, really happy to have that book. And definitely Tales of Suspense number 57, first appearance of Hawkeye. Got this through my boy Tim once again pulling through. Actually, this book in one of my next books, man, he really helped me out on hooking me up through some people he knew that were selling books. And he pointed me in the direction of a guy selling this, and got it for such a killer deal, man. I'm actually surprised he didn't pick this up, man. Really nice copy, man. So happy to have this. I actually never thought I was going to get this because this book is actually more pricey than Black Widow's first appearance, which I actually still need to get. Probably this year I will pick up a Tales of Suspense 52, but really stoked to have a 57 though, and a nice copy on that. On top of that, first Hawkeye, definitely one of my top buys of last year. And my last two, and it's funny, one DC, one Marvel. So my top DC book and my top Marvel book. So we'll go with my top DC, which you guys saw in my last haul. Hands down has to be Flash 106. Essentially Flash number 2. But yeah, first appearance of Gorilla Grodd and Pied Piper. Nobody really cares about Pied Piper, but yeah, first Gorilla Grodd. One of my absolute favorite DC villains in the DC universe. Awesome character. I'm so happy that I have this book, and my boy Chris, SpideyFan78CT, hooked me up on this book. Gave me a great price. And yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled to have this book in my collection. And for the last book, probably my top buy, along with that Flash 106. But yeah, definitely my opinion, my top Marvel buy. And once again, I got to shout out my boy Tivo, Tebow 14, Lords of the Long Box, came through on this book for me as well, man. Pointed me in the direction of somebody he knew that was selling this. I believe he ended up getting the X-Men 94 from the same seller that I bought this from. I believe. I'm not sure. Let me know, Tim. I think that was the X-Men 94 you got. But anyways, he pointed me in the direction of this guy selling a giant size X-Men, and man, super, super stoked to have this book. Yeah, one of those Grail books that, man, I wanted, but I just wasn't willing to drop all that money on it. But I got a killer deal on it, and the guy worked with me and let me do payments on it, which really helped. And it's a real clean, nice, I'd say about a 5.0 copy. With a press, it could do a little better. There's some a little bit of creasing on it, but it could be pressed out. But yeah, man. Once again, like I said, Tim came through and hooked me up on this book. And yeah, I'm just so happy to have this book in my collection. Now, the only big boy I need in my collection now is I need a Hulk 181. I don't know if I'm going to go for that book, though, just because, oh my God, yeah, like a VG Plus is going for about $1,000 now, which is ridiculous. I totally missed the boat on that book. And it's one of those books where even if I save for it, it doesn't matter, man. It's just, by the time I get enough money to get it, it's going to be that much more, I think. That's the rate it's been going. But yeah, I definitely need a Hulk 181 next. Hopefully somehow I get one. We'll see. But yeah, Hulk 181, definitely I want that book. That is one of my top priority books of this year. But yeah, love Giant Size X-Men. Definitely my top buy of last year. So happy to have this book. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope this video didn't go too long. But yeah, that is my top buys of last year. Picked up some really awesome books, and let me know what you guys think. I definitely feel those were my top buys for sure, hands down. So that's going to do it for this video. Look forward to another haul sometime soon, hopefully. And I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Bye.